Lunchtime at Kinlochbervie Harbour. Low class stopover. And I've got, what is it called?
Cheesy quesadillas.
Cheesy quesadilla.
Just show them.
I don't know what the hell I'm getting.
Cheesy quesadillas. And your favourite?
Then I got a wee bit of fudge because we bought fudge at that spa back in Durness.
Well, yeah, that spa was pretty awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
That was an amazing spa.
So we picked up a few essentials, so now get some lunch and go for a walk, eh?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Here's the details here. Loch class stopover, 15 vans overnight, hook up with £15, just departs 10 quid, 5 quid if you just want water and waste disposal. And then just round the back here, you've got a CDP point, and you've got litter bins, and just over where that motorhome is there, there's a water tap. Things to do in Lochinver when it's raining. Just lie down, wait for the rain to stop, clearly.
It's pouring of rain in Scotland. It's pouring of rain in Scotland. So it's just been absolutely pouring of rain. So what do? You need to jump on the wall. Walk on the wall, Dave.
Even with my standards.
Even with your standards.
If you're in Lochinver, just at the leisure centre, there's another chemical toilet disposal point there and water tap, which is provided by the council. So another handy spot to know about.
So we've just pulled into Lochinver stores and just to pick up some fuel, which is super cheap here. It's actually $1.43 a litre, and we were paying about $1.47 in Tesco's. So to think you're away up here in the middle of nowhere and we're £4 cheaper a litre is crazy, but we're going to pop a wee bit in it. We've got half a tank, so we don't actually need a lot. But yeah, so Lochinver stores, and he's just at this wee pay machine. So I think the idea is you put your card in and you pay first, and then that'll let you then get the fuel. Maybe tells you what pump to go to. And hopefully, or maybe he says which pump we're at, I don't know. Does it tell you what pump we're at, or how does it work?
You just put in your details and then set a limit to what you want to spend, and then tell it what pump you're at.
Ah, you tell it what pump you're at. Aye, I didn't know if it was going to tell us, and then I thought, well, that doesn't work because we're already parked here. Yeah. Awesome.
spot here. We are just about 10 miles south of Ullapool. We're on the A832 road, which is the road from Corryshalloch Gorge to Gairloch, and get great views. This massive spot here, a nice big quiet bit to yourself. Couple of bins, good 4G signal, so I can do a little bit of work later on, and then looking all the way down to Loch Broom. So we're going to settle in here for the night, and then tomorrow we're going to head in the direction of Gairloch. That's the plan. So we shall settle in here and we shall catch you guys in the morning. Look at this guy here before we go. Right, good night. This is Gruinard Bay, where we've parked across the road. You can overnight here for £10 a night to the Highland Council. It's a nice spot. Got a local group over here with a net and their wetsuits on. I think they're maybe an outdoor group or scouts or something. I'm putting the nets in the water, must be trying to do a spot of fishing.
Okay, so guys, we've stopped here because just behind me here is Gruinard Island. Now, Gruinard Island is also known as Anthrax Island because in the 40s, what the British Army thought was that Germany was going to basically create a biological weapon to use against us. So we started testing anthrax, and they used this island to test it. So they got anthrax and they put it on the island, and there was a few sheep on the island, and within a few days all the sheep were dead. They then put, anthrax lasts for a very long time, the pores and spores, so they then put MOD signs everywhere and stopped anybody using the island. And the island was basically a no-go zone, so everybody was up in arms. It was one of the biggest disgraces of the UK Army, you know. So in the 80s, because of the response, the Army then spent £500,000 trying to decontaminate and clear the island. Sheep are now on the island and are alive on the island, but there is questions about whether there's still anthrax there, and if you do visit here, maybe don't paddleboard over to it and have a wee look.
We just had a lunch here on the banks of Loch Ewe, a place called Cove, and this is more wartime artefacts. This is where they kept watch on the Arctic convoys. It tells you all about it here. In 1941 to 44, the Loch was a base for Arctic convoys. These ships provided essential supplies to a war-torn Russia, along a route described by Winston Churchill as the worst journey in the world. So we'll go up and have a wee look and see what's about here. There's a lot of cool structures. And then up here we've got a memorial. The Arctic convoys would have been out there in the Atlantic, and they'd have pulled in here for safe harbour and fuel, water. In memory of our shipmates who sailed from Loch Ewe during World War II, the Russian Convoy Club. That's pretty cool, isn't it? There's a bench here.
open.
I know, that's
you
weird.
think this is where there's been watchmen?
That is a proper bizarre structure, isn't it?
I think it's really eerie. And having all this still here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing landscape. Handbrake off. There he goes, there he goes. Oh, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? Right, we're back. A little bit of excitement's over. Local boy John, aka Chucky, managed to just put his car off the edge of the concrete plinth there. So we had to run him up to his neighbour's farm, get the boy with the tractor, come down and boy with the tractor towed it out, so no damage.
A wee bit of damage to the plastic and that's it. But
Just a superficial damage, so no mechanical damage.
John must have been what, in his 90s or something, so it's just as well because who else is going to help him? We're in the middle of nowhere.
He was doing.
And it's a long way for him to try and get back to the tractor because we were driving for a good 5-6 minutes.
So it's good the boy with the tractor came and sorted
he was
it. So
sound, wasn't he? And his boy.
absolutely brilliant. So right, back onto the rest of the tour. This is the one that I wanted to come up and see because this looks more interesting than the other ones. Wow. Although it does look a bit flooded. I don't suppose we're too bored about that. A nice bit of asbestos sheeting perhaps on the roof. Very slidey if you come in. Wow. So John, when he was in the van, was telling us about the war, wasn't he? Because he was 12 during the war. And he said that the amount of troops that were stationed along the banks of here, it was really actually not very good that he crashed his car, but really good to hear his stories for his father was in the First World War in Egypt. So it was interesting, like you say, to hear a local story, albeit under strange circumstances. But yeah, what a place. There's Amy over there. And there's the deer. Yeah. Hello. 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 Haribo. Hamish.
Haribo's funny. But even in the pouring rain, I can't get any peace.
I was looking for a bit more interaction than this, to be honest with you guys. We've been beaten. We're giving up. We've had enough of the midges. We stopped at a great overnight spot in the hills on the Applecross Peninsula. However, the midges started attacking as they came in the van. The Citroen Relay didn't work, the fly spray didn't work, the smidge didn't work. So we've driven round to Applecross village. We're just in the public car park here, next to the toilets. And we're now on a clean-up mission to get the midges out the van and off the doors. Wait, I'll show you this. I'd already cleaned the van when we were parked at Gairloch earlier. There's all the dead midges that are stuck to my door.
This is ridiculous.
It's been insane, hasn't it? So that door, we'll just get window cleaner and kitchen roll and we're trying to clean up.
Anti back wipe.
Yeah.
Even like we've got this most extreme stuff here.
Supposed to be for the army.
This is the MOD stuff. See that stuff? That's what the army, the MOD use here. And I swear to God, man, it's no touching it. And it's raining, it's pouring the rain.
Torrential rain here, and they're still out.
And it's windy, and I've never ever seen midges like it. I mean, everybody always goes, oh, the midges, but we're actually fine with them. But I have never seen it like this.
But you're pretty used to them, but these are a different breed.
I know.
These are killer midgie.
I'm bitten like 1,000 times. And to top it off, on BBC iPlayer, we thought it was a good idea last night to put a documentary on midges on.
So scratching all night.
Yeah, so it tells you all about like how they bite and why they bite and oh yeah.
So get this window cleaned up. In fact, do you know what's going to show you this? We're here. There's a water tap here. I'll show you this. This is the public car parks down at Applecross. It's an absolute stunning place. Wait, and I'll show you this. We're just parked over here. Can't overnight in this car park. There's a couple of vans parked over in the distance here. So, you know, absolute stunning place in the bay here. Just inside of this toilet block, there is a water tap should you need it. I've used this years ago, but yeah, still working. So you've got that, and you've got toilets here. So we'll get this place cleaned up, and we're going to go on the road. So this is the stunning Applecross village. There's the Applecross inn here. There's a fish and chip van, public toilets, water tap that I've already shown you. And then from here we take the Bealach road, which is hairpin ends and quite steep gradient, so probably not ideal if you're towing a caravan or in a larger motorhome. But we're in a 6 metre motor or 6 metre campervan, so it's not too bad. So there's the Applecross inn on your right, and there's the outside bar and the chip van. Not a massive amount of parking down here either. You've really only got the Applecross Inn's car park and the very small public car park. There is a campsite down here though. If you need it, just up the hill. That's the fuel return petrol station.
Feeling about this?
I've done this before. It's a bit steep, but it's probably nothing in comparison to some of the hills in Wales, which are
the valleys.
Crazy. The valleys in Wales are crazy hills.
Yeah, the valleys are a bit mad.
Probably not any worse than some of those hills. It's probably made worse, in fact, because it's single track with passing places, and because of that, you've then got to stop to let other vehicles through and then get going again on the steep hills. But that's about the only difference, that the Welsh hills are just as steep. So here we are.
Are we near the top yet?
No.
How far have we came so far?
3 miles, I don't know. We're not at the top yet though. Not as bad on this side, it's worse than the other side.
Yeah, it just happens to be an approach at this side this time. I think we've done it both sides, haven't we?
Yeah. We're going from sea level up to the top and then back down to sea level. Our plans to stay overnight up here.
Yeah, we're going to try and stay in the Black bar car park.
Pass of the cattle, it's Gaelic for pass of the cattle. Good morning.
Good morning.
That was a rough night.
That was horrendous. Cool to say we've done it, but really windy.
We left you last night. We drove up the Bealach road from Applecross village up through the mountain roads, hairpin bends. It was a great drive, in fairness. We didn't meet another vehicle in either direction, so we could get up the whole way perfectly. So we're now at the very top of Bealach. We've been no midges, so great.
That worked.
We've got 4G, great. We've got television signal, great. But we can't see anything else. It's super cloudy, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't see a thing. We can see the van beside us, another van.
I think there was maybe about 6 or 7 of us braved the night up here. Well, we don't know if they all braved the night because...
Well, that van looks empty right enough.
That van's empty. There was at least another 2 vans there, and there was another motorhome over there. I don't know if people have just legged it overnight. There's even a car there.
I thought maybe because the wind was crazy.
Yeah, we don't know.
Left.
Don't know if
Because it's
they got
only
up
like just
early.
after 8 now, isn't it? And
Yeah.
like you say, it's
So,
right empty.
Don't know if they got up early this morning. Don't know if they disappeared during the night. We have no clue. But anyway, we're here. It's very, very gusty. We did have great ideas of getting the drone up and flying it over the van, going down the hill, but we'll see if we can even film any of this for you.
We got a wee bit last night coming up. So you'll have seen that before you've seen this. And now you're seeing this before you see the next bit. It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
See you at the bottom. So the plan was to bring you to this village, which is called Duirinish, on the west coast, to show you some Highland coos. They normally roam free around the village. They're in this field behind us now. They're in the distance. You can barely see them. But what's happened is they've now started to charge you to go on a tour to see the Highland cows, the hairy cows. Whereas for years, for all the years I can remember, I mean I'm going back over 30 years, they've just always wandered about here. And the last couple of times we've came, they've not been here, so that's what's going on. They're now celebrity cows, you need to pay to see them. Good morning. You okay? Did you say you upset the sheep?
No, it's how they don't charge you to see the sheep.
No, the sheep are free. It's a bit wet out. I know it's August. I know the price of the cow trips.
Do you? How did you know that?
It's in the window.
Oh no.
How much would you pay to go and see the cows?
A tenner.
Tenner. It's an hour's trip.
A tenner.
Nah.
Considering you can go to places and no pay for it.
Nah.
I remember like put your minimum wage like 15 quid or something.
Would the cows get paid minimum wage?
No, but the person surely takes you out there, right? Oh, but then you're splitting it. £15.
20 quid.
20 quid?
20 quid to go on a walking tour from here round to there. I'm sorry guys, it's a rip-off. The cows are in that field.
20 quid they're charging you to go and see
They
them?
used to walk about the village. For years, I can remember going back, for years they've always walked about the village.
And it's not even as if it's for their upkeep, because like you say, they've been here for years.
Yeah. I'll just eat the grass.
20 quid.
That's rip off. Sorry Scotland, that's rip off. I haven't paid £20, but I drove up the road a bit and I found the queues. There's one right there. Hello. Stopped in Invermoriston for a spot of lunch on the banks of Loch Ness. That was a long drive down from Plockton and Duirinish. So grab some lunch and then we'll go out for a walk about here.
Pasta.
Coco, ah non Coco. Quoi? On va voir là-bas.
We've got a secret to tell you, and you cannot share this with anybody else. We're in Fort Augustus and we've got a cracking little overnight spot, haven't we?
Yes.
But you need to not tell a soul. So there's an air, a motorhome air here. So this air is overlooking the canal, and there's spaces up here provided by Scottish Canals for 4 other vehicles. 4 motorhomes or campervans. So there's 3 of us here. There's a sign here, tells you all about it. And there's a QR code that you scan. So what you need to do is you need to come to the canal. Fort Augustus is at the southern end of Loch Ness on the A82. You need to come up here and park in one of the spaces first, then go into their website QR code, and it costs £10 a night to stay here. Don't book it online and then try and turn up, because the spaces will be taken. You've got to park first and then pay for your space. There's a water tap just at the end of the row as well, and there's rubbish bins. So that's all the services you're going to get. There's brilliant wee town down there, isn't there?
Yeah.
We're going to go for a walk about. There's chip shops, restaurants, petrol station, gift shops and so on and so forth, and there's cruises out on Loch Ness itself. If you fancy doing that, or if you're into kayaking or paddleboarding, you can do that also. There are toilets and showers here, but they're for Scottish Canal boat users, so unless you've got a canal key, you won't be able to use those. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we've woken up in Fort Augustus. It's a bit wet here, but it's our last day. We're heading back to the house to do the washings and clean up and whatever. So just filled up with fuel there in Fort Augustus, well, half a tank. We've got an engine management light on, so bit of jeopardy in that as well. Hopefully nothing too serious. Hopefully it's just an EGR problem or something stupid and it just goes back off again.
Well, the van's driving okay so far, isn't it? Even though we've got the light.
So we're only 4 hours from home. What could go wrong?
I was going to say we're still quite far north.
So we're going to head from here down towards Fort William and then head down through Glencoe and head back to the house. So we'll maybe keep driving or we'll see you in the back of a tow truck.
Yeah.
So I've just pulled off the road to show you this other overnight air that we've got here provided by Scottish Canals. As we are members of Camper, we need to sometimes stop off and take photographs for them and do a quick annual inspection. So that's the reason for stopping here. So this stop off is called Bridge of Loch. That's the old bridge there. And there's space here for two overnight bays for motorhomes. Again, it's part of the camper set up and search for sites. So what you do is you scan that QR code, it takes you to the Scottish Canals website and you pay them your £10 and you can stay here overnight. I don't think there's a water tap here unless there's one across at the cottage, but there's definitely not one at this side. So there's no other facilities here, there's no bins, there's no waste disposal, it's literally just 2 parking spots. You're off the road and it's in a great location. So we just stopped off for a spot of lunch here. We're just south of Tyndrum on the 82 and I thought I'll get the laptop out and have a look at this engine management light. So that's the software, that's the code reader that we use, just got it on eBay. Put it on the laptop, got the software on that, it's called the Diagbox, and it was the EGR valve was stuck in one position, so it does that from time to time, don't know why, just absolute garbage. So clear the fault, it seems to be okay now, so happy days, and we're going to sign this video off here. We've had a great trip and we are going to head home from here, so we'll catch you in the next video. Please like and subscribe and we'll catch you soon.